Call of the Void. This is the next song off of Lightwork. This song was originally inspired by a musical act that I had heard on Spotify called All India Radio, and the main guy, Martin Kennedy. Unfortunately, on the first pressing of Lightwork, because it was so rushed and I was on tour, the lyrics and the credits that had been worked on by people other than myself ended up mislabeling the song as being co-written by Mike Keneally, but it's actually Martin Kennedy from the band All India Radio. And then when we do a re-release eventually, I'll remedy that. So apologies. Call of the Void was based on the song that I had heard from him called Can You Hear the Sound, off of his album The Slow Light. And it was a very impactful song for me because I was on vacation when I heard it, and it became sort of like, you know how these things happen, soundtrack to your time. And then I took that song, asked for permission to reinterpret it, and then I added a different chorus and all sorts of things, of course. And the concept of Call the Void ended up being in line with the rest of Lightwork about that sort of tendency, and that it's like seductive when things are really difficult and really bad and really negative and really depressing and really dark, to just throw in the towel, just to kind of give up. And I remember hearing an explanation of a certain psychological concept of invasive thinking described as the call of the void. And what that thought is, and it's funny because it's such a specific thing, but if you're driving on a road and you're way up high in the mountains, and if you've been up high driving in the mountains, you understand like how freaky it can be, where right beside the freeway, at least when I was a kid, it was a lot more sketchy than maybe it is in most places now, but there was a drop off. So you're driving up the mountain and then you look to the right and there's this drop off, and the call of the void refers to that invasive thought of, well, maybe I should just drive over. Not that you want to commit suicide, not that you want to hurt yourself or your family, but there's these invasive thoughts that come in. Oftentimes, like if the least sexist or racist person maybe has a thought that's really strangely racist or strangely sexist, and they're thinking, how is this happening? Why is this me? And it's called invasive thinking or intrusive thoughts. I think that's what it is. Don't quote me on either. And the call of the void was the definition I'd heard for that particular one, of just being like, I'm just going to drive off this hill for no reason. You have to really focus to not do something that you would never do. And the chorus for Call of the Void kind of alludes to that as well. Like when it feels like the world's insane, when it feels like all you want to do is just freak out, just don't, because it doesn't help. Keeping yourself together in times of crisis is one of the most important skill sets that I think we can learn. And Call of the Void, why is that so hard to say? Call of the Void is about that. So there you go.